Hello students, so now we are going to start Vision Test Series 6. So it is mainly on modern India. So it contains freedom struggle, extremist phase, Gandhian era and miscellaneous and other dimensions. So let's start. The first question is with reference to the administrative policy of the education system in India, downward filtration theory aims to. So it aims to spend the money in educating a few persons from the upper and middle classes so that they would radiate education and modern ideas among the masses. So first option A is the correct answer. Second statement, recently virtual private networks, that is VPN, was in use. So in this regard, consider the following statements. So the first statement is VPN is an encryption tool to protect the user's identity over the internet. Second statement is VPN service providers cannot store users' data for more than 6 months. Third statement is Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, that is CERT-IN, is the nodal agency for cyber security directives of VPN services in India. So here only first and third statements are correct because VPN service providers can store the data for 5 years. So only 1 and 3 statements are correct. So option C. The third question is consider the following statements regarding Simon Commission. So first statement is all the members of the commission were Englishmen. Second statement is it recommended dominion status for British India. So here Simon Commission did not recommend any dominion status for British India, and this Hindu Mahasabha and Muslim League supported the call for the boycott of Simon Commission, and it proposed the abolition of diarchy and establishment of the representation of government in the provinces which should be given autonomy. So only first statement is correct. So option A. Fourth question, consider the following statements with regard to the Queen's proclamation issued on November 1st, 1858. The first statement is it was by this proclamation that the Governor General acquired the additional title of Viceroy. Second statement is the Indian states were henceforth to recognize the paramountcy of the British Crown. Third statement is the proclamation promised all Indians equal opportunities in government services irrespective of race or creed. So option D, that is all these statements are correct. Coming to fifth question, with the reference to East India Company, consider the following statements. The first question is statement is the failure of the Cripps mission was one of the main reasons behind the announcement of the movement. So first statement is correct. Second statement is the movement called for the action from people of both British India and princely states. Even second statement is correct. Coming to the third statement, the movement received support from Communist Party of India. The third statement is wrong because the Quit India movement did not receive any support from Communist Party of India, and also the Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha did not support Quit India movement. And so only first option A is the correct answer. 1 and 2 statements are correct. Here Quit India movement was launched on August 1942. Now coming to sixth question with reference to the Constituent Assembly, consider the following statements. The first statement is more than 70% of the members of the Constituent Assembly were from the Congress Party. The first statement is correct. It is actually the Congress Party members were 82% in the Constituent Assembly. Okay, so coming to the second statement, B.R. Ambedkar moved the objective resolution in the Constituent Assembly. The second statement is wrong. The person who moved the objective resolution in the Constituent Assembly was Jawaharlal Nehru. So only first statement is correct. So option A. Seventh question, with reference to the company's administration in British India, consider the following statements regarding Board of Control. So the first statement is it was introduced through the Pitt's India Act of 1784. Second statement is it was established to guide and control the work of the Court of Directors. The third statement, both the second statements and first statement are correct. The third statement is it has powers to appoint and dismiss officials of East India Company. So Board of Control did not have the powers to appoint or dismiss the officials of East India Company. So third statement is wrong. And the East India Company got the monopoly to trade with India and China. So only first and two statements are correct. So option A. Eighth question, consider the following pairs, newspaper and founders are given. So Swadesha Mitram. So Swadesha Mitram was the first Tamil newspaper published in India. So it was founded by G. Subramania Iyer. First pair is correct. Coming to second pair, Indian Mirror. Indian Mirror was written by both N.N. Sen and Debendranath Tagore. So second pair is also correct. Coming to the third one, Voice of India. Voice of India was written by founded by Dadabhai Naoroji. So third one is wrong. So only one and two pairs are correct. So option B. Ninth question, consider the following statements with regards to the Theosophical movement. So Theosophical movement was founded by Madam H.P. Blavatsky and Colonel M.S. Olcott in the New York. Okay, so coming to the first statement, the first headquarters of the Theosophical movement in India was set up at Adyar at the outskirts of Madras. The first statement is correct. Coming to second statement, the movement rejected the Hindu beliefs in reincarnation and karma. The second statement is wrong because this movement has accepted the Hindu beliefs in reincarnation and karma, but it opposed the child marriages and advocated the abolition of caste discrimination, upliftment of outcaste, and improvement of conditions. So only first statement is correct. So option A. 10th question, with reference to Morley Minto reforms, consider the following. Here Morley is the secretary and Minto is the viceroy. Okay, so first statement is, the Secretary of the State declared in the British Parliament that the main objective of these reforms was to establish a self-governing institutions. So first statement is wrong because the Secretary of the State did not actually did not declare that the main objective was self-governing, but in order to be within the British Empire, gradual self-governing institutions are required, was stated by the Secretary. So first statement is wrong. Coming to second statement, big landlords and British capitalists were not completely prohibited from elections of the members of the Imperial Legislative Council. Third statement is, the reforms introduced the system of separate electorates for Muslims. Second and third statements are correct. So option B. 11th question, consider the following statements in the context of Annie Besant. So the first statement is, she came to India to work for the Theosophical Society. So she actually came to India in 1893. So first statement is correct. Coming to second statement, she launched a campaign through her two newspapers, New India and Commonweal. Second statement is also correct. The third statement is, she set up her Home Rule League headquarters in Mumbai. It is not in Mumbai, it is in Adyar, which is near Madras. So third statement is wrong. So she set up Home Rule League headquarters in Adyar in the year 1916. And coming to fourth statement, she became the first woman president of Indian National Congress. Yes, in the 1917 Calcutta session, she became the first woman president of INC. So only 1, 2 and 4 statements are correct. Third statement is wrong because it is not Mumbai, it is Adyar near Madras. 12th question, which of the following was or were the consequences of Anglo-Nepal War of 1814? First statement is, Nepal accepted a British resident. First statement is correct. Second statement is, Nepal was given to Sikkim. Here Nepal was not given to Sikkim. Nepal was withdrawn from the Sikkim. So second statement is wrong. Third statement is, British obtained better facilities to trade with Central Asia. So 1 and 3 statements are correct. So option D. 13th question, consider the following passage. He was a Brahmo social reformer from Bengal. He set up a working men's club in 1870 and brought out a monthly journal called Bharat Shramjeebi with the primary idea of educating the workers. Who among the following is being described in the above passage? So it is Shashipada Banerjee. So it is option C. 14th question, in the context of members of parliament local area development MP LAT scheme, consider the following statements. First statement is, under the MP LAT scheme, nominated members of both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha can recommend development works anywhere in the country. The first statement is correct. Second statement is, the interest accumulated on the MP LATs fund is deposited in the Consolidated Fund of India. Second statement is correct. Third statement is, Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs is a nodal agency for policy formulation and implementation of the scheme. Third statement is wrong. It is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation agent is the nodal agency for policy formulation and implementation of the scheme. So, 1 and 2 statements only are correct. So, option B. 15th question, consider the following statements regarding Vernacular Press Act of 1878. First statement is, it was directed only against Indian language newspapers. Second statement is, it provided for the confiscation of the printing press and other materials of the newspapers if the government believed that it was publishing seditious material. So second statement is also correct. Third statement is, it was repealed in 1881 by Lord Lytton. It is not Lord Lytton, it is repealed by Lord Ripon in 1881. So only 1 and 2 statements are correct. So option B. 16th question, consider the following statements regarding the Lahore session of 1929 of the Indian National Congress. First statement is, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was elected as the president of INC. So, the president of INC was Jawaharlal Nehru in Lahore session. So, first statement is wrong. Second statement is, in this session, INC had authorized the Congress Working Committee to launch a program of civil disobedience including non-payment of taxes. Second statement is correct. Third statement is, in this session, INC passed the resolution for the Purna Swaraj declaration. So, it is 2 and 3 statements. So, option B. 17th question, with reference to the Indigo Revolt of 1859 to 60, consider the following statements. So, first statement is, Indian riots formed groups called Lathyals to revolt against the planters. So, first statement is wrong because Lathyals are the formal goons. So, the Indio planters has hired and maintained the Lathyals who were servant, who would be acting like goons. So, to attack, these Lathyals used to attack and frighten the Indigo peasants. So, the first statement is wrong. Coming to second statement, Christian missionaries extended active support to Indigo riots. Second statement is correct. Third statement is, the Indigo Commission inquiring into the system of indigo production held the planters guilty. So, 2 and 3 statements are correct. So, first statement is wrong. They asked which is not correct. So, only one. So, option B. 18th question, who among the following leaders were associated with the revolt of 1857? So, Nana Sahib, Khan Bahadur Khan, Beham Hazrat Mughal, Bakht Khan. So, all these are associated with the revolt of 1857. So, option D. 19th question, consider the following statements regarding the Congress Khilafat Swaraj Party, also known as the Swaraj Party. So, first statement is, Swaraj Party was formed after the defeat of the council entry proposal at the Gaya session of the INC. So, first statement is correct. Second statement is, Motilal Nehru was elected as the president of Swaraj Party. So, the president of Swaraj Party was C.R. Das and the secretary was Motilal Nehru. So, second statement is wrong. So, option, they asked which is not correct. So, option B. 20th question, which of the following statements are correct with respect to the cabinet mission? First statement is, it was sent to India in 1946 to discuss the terms for the transfer of power to Indians. First statement is correct. Second statement is, it proposed a federation of provinces and the states with the federal center controlling only defense, foreign affairs and communication. Second statement is also correct. Third statement is, both Indian National Congress and Muslim League rejected the cabinet mission plan. So, third statement is wrong because the Indian National Congress and the Muslim League had accepted the cabinet mission plan. So only 1 and 2 statements are correct, so option A. 21st question, Mahatma Gandhi was arrested many times during the course of freedom struggle. In this context, consider the following statements. First statement is, he was arrested and imprisoned in 1922 for writing articles in Young India which were termed seditious. First statement is correct. Second statement is, he pleaded guilty of charges against him during the trial. So both these statements are correct, so option C. 22nd question, consider the following statements with respect to HS-200 rocket booster recently seen in use. So first statement is, it is a 200-meter long operational booster using solid propellants. So first statement is wrong because it is not 200 meters, it is 20 meters. So first statement is wrong. Coming to second statement, the booster will help power India's Gaganyaan mission. Second statement is correct, so only option B. 23rd question, consider the Gandhi attended which one of the following round table conferences? Gandhiji has attended only second round table conference which was held in 1931. First round table conference was held in 1930. Third round table conference was held in 1932. So only option C is correct, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Tej Bahadur Sapru, Begum Jahanara Shah Nawaz attended all the 3 roundtable conferences. 24th question, police was one of the key pillars of colonial rule in India. In this context, who among the following established a system of thanas, each headed by a daroga and a superintendent of police at the head of the district? So it is Lord Cornwallis, option A. 25th question, the Indian nationalists raised the slogan no taxation without representation. Against which of the following acts? It is against the Indian Council Act of 1892. 26th question, which one of the following statements is or are correct with reference to the Swadeshi movement? First statement is, the big zamindars of Bengal remain loyal to the British by not supporting the Swadeshi movement. Second statement, first statement is wrong because the big zamindars of Bengal and other liberal professions also supported the Swadeshi movement. First statement is wrong. And the second statement is, Indian National Congress supported Swadeshi movement in Banaras session by extending the movement to the rest of the India and transforming it into the mass struggle. Second statement is wrong because in the Banaras session, the INC has supported the Swadeshi movement, but only the militant nationalists led by Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, Lajpat Rai and Arabinda Ghosh want to extend the movement to the rest of India, transforming it to the mass struggle. So first statement and second statement both are wrong, so option D. 27th question, with the advent of the power in India, which one of the following is not correct regarding subsidiary alliance? So first statement is, option A is, Indian rulers would have to agree to posting of British resident at his court. The first statement is correct. Second statement is, Indian rulers have to take administrative decisions with the advice of British resident. It is not with the advice of British resident, but they have the Indian rulers have become mere puppets, so they have to consult Governor General for taking any decision. So option B is the wrong answer, the one which is not correct, so option B. Next is we'll read even option C and D. So allying rulers of Indian state was compelled for permanent stationing of British force within his territory with the payment of maintenance, and Indian rulers would not employ Europeans in his service without the approval of British government. So these are the correct statements regarding subsidiary alliance. 28th question, with reference to the period at the end of the 18th century, the term Havoladars, Gantidars or Mandals refers to. So it refers to a group of rich peasants in the villages. 29th question, consider the following statements with respect to the Factories Act of 1881 and the Factories Act of 1891. So First statement is the Factories Act of 1881 primarily dealt with the problem of child labor. First statement is correct. Second statement, the Factory Act of 1891 regulated the working hours of men. Second statement is wrong because it regulated the working hours of women only, not men. Third statement is these two acts did not apply to the British owned tea and coffee plantations. Yes. So 1 and 3 statements are only correct. So option B. 30th question, consider the following pairs. Associations and leaders are given. So East India Association. East India Association was led by Dadabhai Naoroji in London in the year 1866. First statement is wrong. Second statement is Pune Sarvajanik Sabha. It was led by M.G. Ranade. Second pair is correct. Third pair is Indian League. So Indian League was led by Sisir Kumar Ghosh in 1875 and K.T. Talang also. So only Indian League was only led by Sisir Kumar Ghosh in 1875. So only second statement is correct. So option A. And here Indian Association of Calcutta was founded by Surendranath Banerjee and Anand Mohan Bose. 31st question is, the British Army defeated Tipu Sultan in a brief but fierce war in 1799, thus putting an end to the ambitions of the Mysore state. In this context, which of the following was or were the consequences of this war? First statement is all the territories of Mysore were given to the British ally, the Nizam of Hyderabad. Here, it is not only given to the British ally. All the territories were distributed among the British and the British ally, that is the Nizam of Hyderabad. So first statement is wrong. Second statement is Mysore was restored to the descendants of the original Rajas from whom Hyder Ali seized power. So second statement is correct. Third statement is subsidiary alliance was imposed on the new Mysore state. So third statement is also correct. So option C. 32nd question. Consider the following statements regarding the United Nations Convention to combat desertification. First statement is the 15th Conference of the Parties, that is COP15 of UNCCD was held in Abidjan. First statement is correct. Second statement is the theme of the 15th Conference of Parties, that is COP15, was land, life, legacy from scarcity to prosperity. Second statement is also correct. Third statement is it is a sole legally binding international agreement to address desertification. So all these three statements are correct. So option D. 33rd question, Dap folk dance often seen in use is associated with Odisha state. 34th question, consider the following statements regarding 28th month Congress rule in provinces. Congress abolished the zamindari system. First statement is wrong. Congress did not abolish the zamindari system. Second statement is the passage of the Tenancy Act gave hereditary rights to statutory tenants in Agra and Oudh. Third statement is during Congress rule, Yusuf Meher Ali, the socialist leader, was prosecuted by the Madras government for making an inflammatory speech. So second and third statements are correct. So option B. 35th question, Pabna district was the epicenter of the agrarian unrest in the East Bengal from 1870 to 1880s. In this context, consider the following statements. So the first statement is Zamindar's effort to prevent the tenants from acquiring occupancy rights under Act 10 of 1859 was one of the main cause of unrest. So first statement is correct. Second statement is legal resistance was one of the main forms of struggle. Second statement is also correct. Third statement is the unrest was aimed at abolition of zamindari system. So the unrest was only aimed at fighting against the zamindars, not abolition of zamindari system. So only third statement is wrong. Coming to fourth statement, Surendranath Banerjee campaigned for the rights of the tenants in Bengal. So only option 1, 2 and 4 are correct. So option C. 36th question, consider the following statements regarding Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI. First statement is it was formed in 1927 with the representation of Bombay region only. So first statement is wrong because this federation was formed with from all parts of India, not only Bombay. First statement is wrong. Second statement is G.D. Birla and Purushottam Das, Thakur Das were instrumental in its formation. So only second statement is correct. So option B. 37th question, with reference to the Indian National Army INA, consider the following statements. First statement is the idea of INA was first conceived by Mohan Singh. First statement is correct. Second statement is it had two headquarters, one in Rangoon and the other is Singapore. Second statement is also correct. Third statement is one of the battalions of INA accompanied Japanese army in the Imphal campaign. So all these statements are correct regarding Indian National Army. So option D. 38th question, in the context of the freedom struggle, consider the following statements regarding the Bombay Plan. First statement is it was drafted during the 28 months of Congress rule in 1937 to 39 period. The first statement is wrong because the Bombay Plan was drafted during the World War II period. Second statement is J.R.D. Tata and John Mackay were among the signatories of the plan. Second statement is correct. Third statement is the plan advocated partial nationalization. So 2 and 3 statements are correct. So option C. 39th question, with reference to the Swami Dayananda, which of the following are his popular beliefs? First statement is support of the notion of karma and soul transmigration. So first statement is correct. Second statement is study of Western sciences for the development of the young generation. Second is also correct. Third statement is infallibility of Vedic knowledge. So all these statements are correct. So option D. 40th question, consider the following statements regarding Khilafat movement. So Khilafat movement was launched on August 1, 1920. First statement is Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali were the leaders of the Khilafat agitation. First statement is correct. Second statement is the purpose of the movement was to pressure the British government to preserve the authority of Khalifa over the Muslim sacred places in the erstwhile Ottoman Empire. Second statement is correct. Third statement is Khilafat agitation became part of non-cooperation movement. So all these statements are correct. So option D. 41st question, consider the following pairs. So year of Congress session is given and presidents are given. So in 1887 the Congress president was Badruddin Tyabji. So first pair is correct. So 1887 session is also called as Madras session, and second pair is 1924 year. So Mahatma Gandhi was a president, so it is also called Belgaum session. 1938 the president was Subhash Chandra Bose, and it is the Haripura session. So third pair is wrong, so only 1 and 2 are correct. So option B. 42nd question, in the context of the freedom struggle, the post-war economic development committee in 1942 was set up by. So it was set up by the Indian capitalists. So option A. 43rd question, consider the following statements regarding the recently signed India UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. So first statement is it is a bilateral agreement that covers trades in goods and services, investment and intellectual property rights. First statement is correct. Second statement is it is more comprehensive trade agreement than the comprehensive economic cooperation agreement. So both these statements are correct related to India UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. So option C. 44th question, consider the following statements regarding the recently released Civil Registration System report. First statement is, so here Civil Registration Systems report is released by the Registrar General of India. Okay, so first statement is among Indian states and union territories, Ladakh recorded the highest sex ratio at birth across India. Second statement is none of the states or union territories have recorded a sex ratio at birth below 880. Third statement is the report was released by the Registrar General of India. So all these statements are correct. So option D. 45th question, consider the following statements regarding the recently released breed-wise report of livestock based on the 20th livestock census. So first statement is the total number of indigenous cattle has declined over the last 7 years. Second statement is crossbred Jersey cow has the highest share in the total exotic crossbreed cattle. So first and two statements are correct. So option C. 46th question, Lottery Commission of 1817 was commissioned with the help of British government for the purpose of raising funds for town planning in Calcutta. So option C. 47th question, recently seen in news, Operation Dudi is it is the counter-militancy operation undertaken by the Assam Rifles in Jammu and Kashmir. So option C. 48th question, consider the following statements regarding the Nehru report. So first statement is, it envisaged India to be the federation with linguistic provinces. First statement is correct. Second statement is, it recommended reservations for religious minorities in proportion to their population in the central and provincial level. Second statement is also correct. Third statement is, the report rejected the demand for separating Sindh from Bombay province. So third statement is wrong because the report actually recommended separating Sindh from Bombay province. So third statement is not correct. Fourth statement is, it suggested for joint electorates instead of separate electorates. So only 1, 2 and 4 statements are correct. So option C. 49th question, with reference to the individual satyagraha, consider the following statements. First statement is, it was started to express Indian National Congress stand against participating in World War II. Second statement is, Jawaharlal Nehru was the first person to participate in individual satyagraha. So it is not Jawaharlal Nehru. So only first statement is correct. So option A. 50th question, which one of the following personalities were associated with the workers and peasants of the parties? First statement is Sohan Singh Josh, S.A. Dange, Muzaffar Ahmad, P.C. Joshi. So all of them are associated with the workers and peasants parties. So option D. 51st question, anchor investor often seen in news are. So anchor investors are the qualified institutional buyers who invest in share before it is made available to the public. 52nd question, consider the events. Government announced the annulment of partition of Bengal. Second statement is formation of Indian National Council for Education. Third statement is passage of Indian Universities Act by Curzon. So here, annulment of partition of Bengal took place on 12th December 1911. Formation of National Council for Education took place in 1906. Passage of Indian Universities Act took place in 1904. So the order is 3, 2 and 1. Option C. 53rd question, Northern Ireland Protocol recently seen in news refers to. So it refers to a clause of the United Kingdom's Brexit agreement with European Union related to paperwork on border. So 54th question, which of the following was or were the causes behind the 1857 revolt? So first statement is, sepoys would not give the foreign service allowances, that is patta, when serving in Sindh or in Punjab. First statement is correct. Second statement is, General Services Enlistment Act required the sepoys must be ready to serve even in the British land across the sea. Third statement is, military authorities forbade the sepoys to wear caste and sectarian marks. So all these statements are correct. So option D. 55th question, consider the following. Publications and personalities associated are given. Indian unrest. Indian unrest is associated with Valentine Chirul. First pair is correct. Second pair is Young India. It is a weekly newspaper written by Mahatma Gandhi. Second pair is also correct. Third is Free Hindustan. Free Hindustan is associated with Tarak Nath Das, not Balagangadhar Tilak. So third is wrong. Fourth is Kesari. Kesari is the Marathi newspaper written by Balagangadhar Tilak. So third and fourth pairs are wrong. So only two pairs are correct. And Balagangadhar Tilak also wrote Maharatta in English. Okay, so option B is the correct answer. 56th question, in the context of British administration in South India, Paraiyars and Vanniyars communities refers to the group of. It refers to the group of laborers. So option C. 57th question, With reference to the Cripps mission, consider the following statements. First statement is it was sent to gain the cooperation of Indians in the World War II. So, first statement is correct. Second statement is it promised freedom for India after the conclusion of World War II. So, second statement is wrong because it promised Indian union with the dominion status. So, second is wrong. Third is it promised to convene a constituent assembly to frame a new constitution for India after World War II. So, only 1 and 3 statements are correct. So, option B. And Cripps mission was taken place in March 1942. 58th question, during the civil disobedience movement, in which of the following regions a powerful agitation led by students was launched against the infamous Cunningham circulation? It is in Assam. So, in this circulation, according to this Cunningham circulation, it forced the Indian students and their guardians to provide assurance for good discipline, good behavior. So, for that, the students has launched a civil disobedience movement against this circular. 59th question, consider the following demands. First statement is reduction of import duties on textile imports, no expansion in Afghanistan or Burma, high expenditure on famine relief, the right of Indians to join semi-military volunteer corps, the right of Indian judges to try Europeans in criminal cases. Which of the above given demands were part of nationalist Indian demands during pre-Congress campaigns? So here, in the pre-Congress campaigns, actually the imposition of import duties on textile imports was one of the demand. It is not reduction of import duties, it is imposition of import duties. So 1 is not correct, so rest all are correct. So 2, 3, 4, 5, so option D. 68th question, with reference to the permanent revenue settlement system introduced by Lord Cornwallis in 1793, consider the following statements. First statement is zamindars were made owners of the land and their right of ownership was made hereditary and transferable. First statement is correct. Second statement is initial fixation of revenue under the system was made arbitrarily and without any consultation with zamindars. Third statement is zamindars were to pay 10 by 11th of the rent they received from peasantry. So 1, 2, 3 statements are correct. So option D. 61st question, consider the following statements with regards to the Ahrar movement. Ahrar movement is founded in the year 1910. So first statement is it supported the idea of self-government and advocated active participation in militant nationalist movement. So first statement is correct. Second statement is Maulana Muhammad Ali and Hassan Imam were among the co-founders of Ahrar movement. Second statement is also correct. Third statement is it was against loyalist politics of Aligarh school of zamindars. So all these statements are correct. So option D. 62nd question, consider the following statements with regard to the All India Women's Conference. So first statement is it was founded by Ramabai Ranade in 1927. So first statement is wrong because this All India Women's Conference was founded by Margaret Cousins. So first statement is wrong. Second statement is it worked for the society based on the principles of social justice, integrity and equal rights for all. So only second statement is correct. So option B. And this All India Women's Conference was the first women's organization with egalitarian approach. 63rd question, born in 1827 in Maharashtra, he organized a powerful movement against the upper caste domination and Brahmanical supremacy. In 1851, he started a girls' school at Pune with his wife, and soon many other schools came up. Who among the following is being described in the passage given above? So it is Jyotiba Phule. Option D. 64th question, in the context of the cultural history of India, consider the following statements regarding Marthand Sun Temple. So Marthand Sun Temple is located in Jammu and Kashmir. So first statement is it was built by the Karkota dynasty of Kashmir in 8th century CE. So King Lalitaditya of Karkota dynasty has constructed it. So first statement is correct. Second statement is it was built in a square field using limestone and pillars in the Greek pattern. Second statement is also correct. Third statement is it is tagged as a site of national importance by the Archaeological Survey of India. So all these statements are correct. So option D. 65th question, with reference to the English East India Company, consider the following statements. First statement is Queen Elizabeth granted the company a royal charter and the exclusive privilege to trade in the East. So first statement is correct. Second statement is Shah Jahan was the first Mughal emperor to grant the Farman of East India Company. So second statement is wrong because it is not Shah Jahan, it is Jahangir. Jahangir in the year 1613 was granted a Farman to East India Company. So second statement is wrong. Third statement is the company opened its first permanent factory in Surat. So 1 and 3 statements are correct. So option C. 66th question, consider the following statements regarding the All India Trade Union Congress. First statement is Lala Lajpat Rai was the first General Secretary of All India Trade Union Congress. So here Lala Lajpat Rai was a president and V.M. Power was the first General Secretary of All India Trade Union Congress. So first statement is wrong. Second statement is Jawaharlal Nehru and C.R. Das were associated with AITUC. Second statement is correct. Third statement is decisions to form a committee of congressmen to assist AITUC was taken at the Gaya session of INC in 1922. So second and third statements are correct. So option B. 67th question, who among the following took up the defense of the accused in the Indian National Army trials at Red Fort? So Tej Bahadur Sapru, Bhulabhai Desai, Jawaharlal Nehru, K.N. Kadju. So all these took up the defense of the accused in the Indian National Army trials at Red Fort. So option D. 68th question, where did Mahatma Gandhi make his first major public appearance after returning from South Africa in 1915? So it is in Banaras Hindu University in the year 1916 in February month. 69th question, with reference to the Santal uprising, consider the following statements. The first statement is Sidhu and Kanho were the leaders of the uprising. First statement is correct. Second statement is Zamindars joined hands with the tribals and attacked the colonial symbols of the authority like public police station and railways. So second statement is wrong because the Santals have attacked the Mahajans, Zamindars, police stations, railway construction sites, etc. So Zamindars did not join. In fact, the Santals attacked on Zamindars. Second statement is wrong. Third statement is Santal tribals were helped by a large number of non-tribals in the revolt. So third statement is also correct. So only 1 and 3 statements are correct. So option A. 70th question, which one of the following best describes the SPARSH initiative? SPARSH means System for Pension Administration Raksha. So it is an initiative of the Ministry of Defence to meet the pension sanctions and disbursement requirements of the armed forces. So option B is the correct answer. 71st question, who among the following is associated with the Gujarati journal Satya Prakash that advocated widow remarriage? So it is Karson Das Mulji. Option C is the correct answer. So he was the contemporary of Dadabhai Naoroji, and here Widow Remarriage Act was passed in 1956 with the efforts of Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. 72nd question, in the context of the recently held Second India Nordic Summit, consider the following statements. So first statement is India is the only nation with which the Nordic countries have a summit level engagement. First statement is wrong because it is not India, it is US. Second statement is the summit witnessed the launch of the Green Strategic Partnership between India and Denmark. So this partnership was held in the first Nordic summit, not in the second Nordic summit. So second statement is wrong. Third statement is Iceland and Republic of Ireland form a part of Nordic group of countries. So third statement is wrong because the Nordic countries are the 5 countries which are Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Iceland and Norway. Ireland is not present. So none of them are correct. So option D. 73rd question, with reference to the British India, which one of the following was the primary motive of the British government behind the introduction of land as a private property? So, to protect government revenue by making land a saleable, mortgageable and alienable commodity was the primary motive of the British government behind the introduction of land as a private property. 74th question, so pairs are given, book and author is given, Bandi Jeevan. So Bandi Jeevan was written by Sachindranath Sanyal. First pair is wrong. Next is Philosophy of the Bomb. It was written by Bhagwati Charan Bohra. Second statement is also wrong. Why Am an Atheist? It was written by Bhagat Singh. So only third pair is correct. So option B. 75th question, with reference to early colonialism in India, which of the following established urban trade centers lost their importance in the face of mid-18th century after the British political control in India? It is Surat, Masulipatam and Dhaka. Option A. 76th question, recently seen in news. Shigella it is a genus of bacteria that causes a gastrointestinal infection. So option B. 77th question, with reference to the Tripuri session of Indian National Congress, consider the following statements. First statement is Govind Ballabh Pant moved a resolution expressing full confidence in the old Congress working committee. So first statement is correct. Second statement is Rajendra Prasad was elected as the president after the resignation of Subhash Chandra Bose. So both these statements are correct. So option C. 78th question, in the context of the temple entry movement during the freedom struggle, who among the following were associated with Guruvayar temple entry movement? So it is Subramaniam Tirumambu, P. Krishna Pillai, A.K. Gopalan. All these were associated with the Guruvayur temple entry movement. So option D. 79th question, consider the following statements above about Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. So first statement is Anand Mohan Bose, Shibchandra Deb and Umesh Chandra Datta were its founding members. Second statement is it accepted the doctrines of faith in a supreme being and the belief that Vedas are infallible. So here second statement is wrong because it reiterated the Brahmo doctrines and did not accept the authority of Vedas. So second statement is wrong. So option A, only first statement is correct. And regarding Brahmo Samaj, it was founded by Rajaram Mohan Roy in 1828. 80 question, which of the following Portuguese viceroy captured Goa and established Portuguese domination over the entire Asian coast from Hormuz in the Persian Gulf to Malacca in Malaya and Spice Islands in Indonesia? It is Alfonso de Albuquerque. Option B. 81st question, during colonial period, British economic policies completely changed the nature of Indian trade. In this context, which of the following were the chief exports of India by the end of 19th century? It was raw cotton, jute, indigo and silk. All these were the chief exports. So option D. 82nd question, recently seen in news, Macolin Convention deals with. So it deals with the multilateral treaty aimed to check match fixing. So here the Council of Europe Convention on Manipulation of Sports Competition is known as Macolin Convention. So it deals with the multilateral treaty aimed to check match fixing. 83rd question, with reference to the Shaurya Chakra, consider the following statements. Shaurya Chakra is the highest peacetime gallantry award. First statement is wrong because it is the third highest one, not the highest. Second statement is personnel of armed forces along with the civilian citizens are eligible for the award of Shaurya Chakra. So option B, only second statement is correct. 84th question, who among the following is associated with the slogan one religion, one caste, one God for mankind? It is Sri Narayana Guru. So Sri Narayana Guru has led a lifelong struggle against the upper caste domination in Kerala. So option A, 85th question, consider the following statements with reference to the Lucknow session in 1916. First statement is Lokamanya Tilak and Madan Mohan Malaviya played an important role in the Congress League pact. So it is not Madan Mohan Malaviya. It is Annie Besant. Annie Besant and Lokamanya Tilak played an important role in the Congress League pact. So first statement is wrong. Second statement is death of Firoz Shah Mehta weakened the opposition from the Bombay group, which led to the merger of extremists in the Congress. Second statement is correct. Third statement is it was presided by Ambika Charan Mazumdar. So only 2 and 3 statements are correct. So option B. 86th question, consider the following events. Import duties on British textile imports were removed. And first statement is correct. So import duties on British textile imports were removed. Second is the Arms Act was enacted to disarm the people. Third Afghan war was started. Vernacular Press Act was implemented. So which of the following viceroys was associated with the events given above? So it is Lord Lytton. And the Arms Act and Vernacular Act took place in the year 1878. So the answer is Lord Lytton. So option B. 87th question, consider the following statements regarding the Ghadar movement. First statement is the first issue of Ghadar was published in the Urdu language. First statement is correct. Second statement is the outbreak of the Second World War influenced the course of Ghadar movement. Second statement is wrong, because the 3 events have influenced the Ghadar movement. They are the arrest and escape of Hardayal, second is Komagata Maru incident, and the third is outbreak of World War I. So all these have influenced the course of Ghadar movement. Third statement is Shore committee was set up to inquire about Komagata Maru incident. So first and third statements are only correct. So option C. 88th question, after the retirement of Firoz Shah Mehta from the Imperial Legislative Council in 1901 due to the bad health, he got elected in his place. He gained great fame for his budget speeches, which used to be reported extensively by the newspapers and whose readers would wait eagerly for their morning copy. Balagangadhar Tilak, his lifelong political opponent, said at his funeral, "This diamond of India, this jewel of Maharashtra, this prince of workers is taking eternal rest on the funeral ground. Look at him and try to emulate him." So the answer is Gopala Krishna Gokhale. Option D. 89th question, consider the following statements with regard to the Indian Association of Calcutta. So first statement is it protested against the reduction of the age limit of candidates of the Indian Civil Service exam. First statement is correct. Second statement is the associations demanded the Indianization of higher administrative post. Second statement is also correct. Third statement is it has led a campaign in favor of the Indian Arms Act of 1878. So third statement is wrong, because Indian Association has led a campaign against the Indian Arms Act and the Vernacular Press Act of 1878. So only first and second statements are correct. So option D. 90th question, with reference to the mission Amrit Sarovar, consider the following statements. First statement is the mission aims to develop 75 water bodies across the country as a tourist hotspot as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So here this mission aims to develop 75 water bodies at each district across the country, and it is part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. It is not for tourist hotspots. So first statement is wrong. Second statement is it is an initiative of Ministry of Tourism. So second statement is also wrong. It is an initiative of Panchayat Raj and Ministry of Forest, Environment and Climate Change. So option D, neither one nor two. 91st question, which of the following statements is not correct with reference to the events leading up to Surat split in Congress? First statement is the policy of the carrot and stick was introduced by the British to isolate the extremists. First statement is correct. Second statement is Lord Minto and John Morley offered fresh reforms in the legislative councils in the beginning of 1906 and moderates agreed to cooperate with the government. Second statement is also correct. Third option C is Arbindo Ghosh, Gopalakrishna Gokhale and Feroz Shah Mehta were the leaders of moderate wing. So option C is wrong because only Arbindo Ghosh was extremist wing and Gopalakrishna Gokhale and Feroz Shah Mehta both were from moderate wing. So option C is not correct. Answer is C. And coming to option D, the Calcutta session in 1906. In this session, 4 compromise resolutions on Swadeshi, boycott, national education and self-government demands were passed. So the answer is option C. 92nd question, with the reference to the British expansionist policy, arrange the following events in the chronological order starting from the earliest event. First is annexation of Sindh. It was done in February 1843. Second is annexation of Punjab. It was done in March 12, 1848. And the third one is annexation of Jhansi. It was done in the year 1853. So the order is 1, 2 and 3. So option A. 93rd question, consider the following statements with regard to financial creditors under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code in India. So first statement is financial creditors are those creditors who have provided goods and services to the corporate debtors. So first statement is wrong because financial creditor is a creditor to whom a financial debt or such as loan or debt security is owned by the corporate or debtor. And operational creditors are those creditors who have provided goods and services to corporate debtors. So first statement is wrong. Second statement is only financial creditors can initiate the corporate insolvency resolution process. So second statement is also wrong because financial creditors or operational creditors or anybody can initiate the corporate insolvency resolution process. So both these statements are wrong. So option D. 94th question, consider the following pairs. Work and personality associated is given. Hitavada. Hitavada was associated with the Gopalakrishna Gokhale. First pair is correct. Second is Hitechu. Hitechu is associated with Gopal Hari Deshmukh. So second pair is wrong. Third pair is Sudharak. Sudharak is associated with Gopal Ganesh Agarkar. So only first pair is correct. Option A. 95th question, consider the following statements regarding Indian National Congress session. First statement is, at the first session of INC, Surendranath Banerjee and other leaders of Bengal merged their forces with those of INC. So in the first session they did not join. They joined at the second session, which took place in the year 1886. So first statement is wrong. Second statement is Dadabhai Naoroji presided over the Calcutta session of Congress in 1886. Second statement is correct. Third statement is Kadambini Ganguly, the first woman graduate of Calcutta University, addressed the third session. It is not the third session, it is the sixth session of INC in the year 1890. So 1 and 3 statements are wrong. So only option C is correct. 96th question, consider the following statements with regard to the changes in the army after the revolt of 1857. First statement is, it moved the company's European troops to the services of the crown. Second statement is, the proportion of the Europeans to Indians in the army was raised and fixed at 1 to 2 in the Bengal army. Third statement is, all higher posts in the army and the artillery departments were reserved for the Europeans. So all these statements are correct. So option D. 97th question, women were at the forefront during the Quit India movement of 1942. In this context, who among the following was or were actively associated with Quit India movement? First, Aruna Asaf Ali, Sucheta Kriplani, and Usha Mehta. All these were associated with Quit India movement. So option D. 98th question. Consider the following statements regarding Dadabai Noroji. So first statement is he organized the East India Association in London in 1866. First statement is correct. Second statement is he was elected president in the INC thrice. Second is also correct. Third statement is he attended International Socialist Congress in 1904 and put forward the demand for complete independence. So third statement is wrong because he attended the International Socialist Congress in 1904, but he put forward the demand of self-government and treatment of India like other British colonies. So only 1 and 2 statements are correct. So option C. 99th question. Who among the following were associated with Chittagong group, a revolutionary group that emerged in the Bengal region of 1920? So it is Surya Sen, Pratilala Vaddedar, Lokanath Baul, Kalpana Dutt. All these were associated. So option D. 100th question. INS Udaygiri, recently seen in news, it is a stealth frigate. So option C is the correct answer.